Hello, all you beautiful psychedelic souls, and thank you for tuning into this video. Today we're going to be covering Serum FM leads, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys some neat tricks to spice up your FM leads. And if you don't already know how to make a lead, we'll be starting from scratch and making one. So this tutorial is great for experienced producers as well as new producers. And let's get started. So we've got this basic Serum patch right here, nothing going on, and on the Serum instance we have this Rhythmizer. If you don't know what the Rhythmizer is, totally recommend it. Not a paid ad, I just legitimately love this product. Essentially what it does is it generates MIDI grooves without needing to draw them in. Although I do recommend learning how to create MIDI grooves yourself first. This is a really good way to improve your workflow and get in the groove. It's really fucking fun. So excuse my language. I don't know if there's any kids watching. Sometimes it just slips out. So essentially what you do is you play with the gate knob and the random, and then you have these probability knobs, and the probability knobs will determine when a note hits and when it doesn't hit, and the gate and random will mess with the note lengths. So I'll show you guys just what that sounds like for the sake of it. So we'll be using that for today's tutorial, and again, not necessary, but it is a really good tool, so I recommend checking it out. What we'll be doing is we'll come down here in the Wavetable folders to Spectral, and we're going to select Monster 2. And this is what that sounds like so far. Very subby, not much mid-range or high-end going on, not really even much of a lead, but we're going to spice it up here. We're going to play with the wavetable position and see where we like it. I think we'll leave it at 50 for now. We can always come back and change that later, and if you guys want to play around and mess with the patch to get it sounding how you want it to sound, you have total creative freedom to do that. You don't have to follow exactly what I do. This is just a guideline. So from here what we're going to do is turn on oscillator B, and again come down to Spectral. And something I'd like to note is that for whatever reason, the Reese Mess and the Monster Wavetables just go so well together for FM leads. You can get some really gritty, crunchy, very powerful sounding leads just even on their own. So we'll select Reese Mess 2. And since we are making an FM lead, you don't want to have the level on oscillator B turned up, since we're going to be mapping A to B using this warp knob here. We're going to come over here and we're going to select not bend minus. We're going to select FM from B. And so you'll notice that the further the knob goes up, the more aggressive it'll sound. At 100% it'll sound very aggressive. At 0% you won't have really any FM even going on at all. So I'll show you guys what I mean, and we'll play with the knob and get it sounding how we want it to sound. So as you can hear, it gets very, very intense very, very quickly. This sound could be great for some styles of music, though it's not the type of FM lead that we're going to be going for today. Usually I like to keep it somewhere between 40 and 60%, although maybe it can be pushed up to 70. So we'll keep it here at about 50% right now, and we're gonna play with the wavetable position on oscillator B. See if we can get some interesting tones here. It sounds really good on both sides, so around around 200 and around maybe like 60. We'll put it at 60 for now, and we'll come back to the FM from B and play with the position here. I like that. So we've got that at 54%. And from here, what we're going to do, since this is dedicated towards a Psytrance style sound, we'll be using the filter here. And you can do one of two things. Well, I mean, really, you can do whatever you want. But for Psytrance, it's recommended to use either like a high 12 or a band 12, maybe 24. For this tutorial, we're going to use a band 12. And we will map LFO1 to the cutoff knob. And we'll tune that back just a little bit and hear how that sounds. So now what we want to do is come over to the LFO1, turn off BPM, turn off anchor, and we'll bring the speed, the rate, down to maybe somewhere between 1 hertz and 2. So we'll hear how this sounds. Okay, so I've got it at 1.4 hertz. And then to give the lead a little bit more of a oomph, a little bit more of like a wow sort of thing going on, we're going to turn up the resonance, and we'll play with that and get it sounding just right. So let's hear how it sounds right now. As you can hear, the further you turn it up, the more you've got that wow sort of vowel movement. And up here, obviously, it's not sounding as good. I would recommend keeping it somewhere below 60%. Maybe we'll try around 50% and see how that sounds. And let's come back to the rate. We'll actually turn that up just a little bit more. It's at 1.5 now. And we're going to bring the resonance down just a tad. We'll try 40%. Very nice. Already this lead is sounding ready to use. It's fat, it's crunchy, it's gritty, but this is where we're going to get into spicing up the lead. Already this lead is sounding great, but just to top it off, we're going to bring in distortion, and for the distortion, we're going to select a hard clip. And so come over here and select pre. You'll notice this EQ glows up, and over here you have a knob which you can turn up. It's automatically set to low pass. We're going to turn it all the way up and get it on the high pass. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to play with the position of this EQ and play with the resonance on it, and we're going to try and get sort of a thick low end, not quite low end, but low mid end, so, or low mid range. So we'll play around with this position here, the frequency. As you can hear, the further you go up, it just cuts out all the lows. Alright, so we'll put it at 121 hertz, and now we'll play with this resonance here. And let's turn up the drive quite a bit. 66% sounds good. Sounded nice and thick. I love it. So from here, again, it's already sounding great, but we're just going to top it off here with a delay. And we're not going to be using the delay in the way that you might be expecting. What we're going to do is we're gonna come over here. We're gonna turn off, or actually we'll keep BPM on. We're gonna turn on link, and what this will do is it'll map the left and right sides of the delay. And so if you turn up the speed on the left side, the right side will follow. So we'll turn this up to, we'll try 64, and we'll hear how that sounds. Let's try bringing it up just one more notch. So now it's at 128, I believe that is. Yep. So as you'll hear, it's got a little bit of a metallic tone to it, and we can play around with the feedback and the mix, and this will, and we can also adjust the EQ on the delay, and maybe even turn on the ping pong. Right now it's on normal. So let's play around with this EQ here. I think it actually sounds best all the way up. It's got a nice reverberating sort of metallic texture. And let's play around with the mix now. Or actually, let's see how ping pong sounds. It could be used, but I think for the sake of this tutorial, we'll keep it on normal. And now come over to the mix. As you can hear, it gets very, very metallic towards about 60%. So we'll keep it below there, maybe around 45. Now we'll turn it down more. And now we'll play with the feedback. That could be really good for some sort of effect on the lead, but I don't think it's good for the majority of the time. So we'll keep it probably below 50%. But at the same time, I think we should keep it somewhere above 30%. So we've got the mix on 38%, and we've got the feedback on 39%. And then you can, of course, you can come around and play with this EQ. And that's pretty much it. You can play around with the wavetable positions on oscillator A and B, and play around with the FM from B. But I would recommend on the FM from B, unless you are going for that more aggro sound, keep it probably below 70%. Even 70%, I would say, is probably pushing it. But we'll just, for the sake of the tutorial, let's see what that sounds like. It actually sounds really good. So as you can see, when you adjust this knob and adjust the wavetable position, you get different tones and textures. So feel free to play around with all of that. And really, I appreciate all of you tuning into this video. More importantly, I really hope that you learned something. I'm planning to get back into the tutorials. I'll try and do one once a week. I've already got one planned for next week. This was just a basic little FM tutorial to kick off this new wave of YouTube videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I really hope you learned something. Feel free to leave a comment, give me some feedback. I'm totally open to all feedback. Give me some tutorial recommendations. Maybe you can send me some sounds that you'd like me to recreate, and I will totally try and go ahead and do that for you. I'll do my best. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified when any new videos come out. I'll be doing some more live streams on here as well. And yeah, God bless you all. Thank you for watching.